We finally got Lyria back, but this doesn't bode well.
Work hard, play. Hi. Great work today, team. What now? Oh no. What? Yes. Don't let this be your final battle, okay? Go for the skies! Not everyone gets to see the good stuff, you know? We have a wide selection of sigils! Stay safe out there, okay?
No.
Hey! It's Mr. Shade!
Well, what do we have here? Oh, and you folks got your friend back.
Hello. Nice to meet you. My name is Lyria.
I'm Zothba, an information broker. Must have been tough out there, huh, little lady?
Yes. It was.
Zothba, do not frighten the poor child.
Huh? Who's being scary? I'm on my best behavior here.
It pleases me to see that everyone is in good health. I came to lend my support the moment I caught wind of Avia's assault on Seed Hollow.
Speaking of allies, I don't see Roland with you. Where'd he go?
He's been captured.
Oh, crap. Well, look, don't get too down. He's not one to croak without a fight. Maybe we can do something for him, though. You in, Histy?
Most certainly. I am off to make arrangements at once.
All right. Call it intuition, or an overactive gut. But an epic storm's brewing in this here skydom. Don't know how to explain it, but the air's buzzing with emotions. Stuff like joy, anxiety, sadness, anger. You can tell when it's coming to a head. I haven't felt this spooked since the Dolly Island disaster 15 years ago. My point is, you folks ought to haul it back to your own skydom.
What? You can't say that at a time like this!
Look, my sources tell me you hail from Fanta Grande. You've got a fine ship that can cross the Grim Basin. No need to play hero here.
It's not like that. We can't just leave everyone when we know what's coming. Lilith is going to use something called the Pillar of Vayue to destroy the sky. Do we just let her do it? And what about Roland?
Let me be the voice of reason here. You saved your princess. Mission accomplished. So what do knights do after rescuing the damsel? They make sure she stays safe. You're an excellent captain, so I don't need to spell out your next move for you, do I?
I appreciate the concern.
Well, your crew's grown on me. That's why we'll take it from here. Come on. All I'm saying is don't push your luck. Ah, who am I kidding? We both know I can't talk you out of this. But Zega Grande is our home. At least let us keep our pride. Be seeing you around then. And quit with the long faces. We can handle this.
Excuse me.
Another satisfied client.
Oh.
I knew we could do it. Lucky me. What are you?
Well, now.
Work hard, play hard. Need something? From the moment we left Sinkenstill, our adventures were hectic to say the least. Catalina, who claimed to be an experienced pilot, crashed our small vessel into the gusty fields of Port Breeze. But we quickly pulled ourselves together and found a new ally, and helpsman, in the form of Rackham. Since then, we gained more and more allies, and no matter what obstacle we faced, the crew always worked in tandem to find a solution. It's all thanks to their support that I've made it this far. And what a wild ride it's been! I had never set foot off of Sinkenstill, but now I can't even count the number of islands we've saved, let alone visited. Sure, being a roving band of heroes is difficult, but it's got its perks. New faces, new places, and a whole airship's worth of fun. Who could pass this life up? Anyhoodle, we've just begun the next chapter of our adventure. We discovered another piece of the sky map, which led us to Zega Grande. Yeah, a whole new skydom. Just imagine the danger, the promise. But I knew it was going to be fine. Just another set of memories to add to our ever-growing collection. I hope you're ready, Zega Grande, 'cause here we come!
Skyfarers, we need your aid! Goblins! Goblins in Tempeel!
We were at the dock in Folka, taking care of landing procedures, when a panicked old merchant rushed toward us. In between his wheezing, he explained that a shipment of relief supplies headed for Tempeel had been intercepted by monsters. Tempeel reminded me of Id and how he had totally beat our butts. It was embarrassing, yeah. But what's worse, it reminded me of losing Lyria.
Tempeel, huh? Maybe this time around I can actually help out.
That wasn't Vern's usual peppy tone. He was probably reliving those bad memories, just like me. I guess after you've spent as much time together as we have, you pretty much share a brain. It wasn't going to be a fun journey to Tempeel for either of us, but we were Skyfarers, and desperate times called for brave faces. Anyways, goblins. Smart, fast. That meant we wouldn't have the luxury of time. We needed to throw together the minimum amount of supplies needed for the journey and head out. I turned to Vern so we could discuss game plans, but then I saw his ears were droopy.
If we're fighting goblins, then we should have them licked by lunch.
Something was wrong. But with the hasty flight preparations, I couldn't spare the few minutes to investigate. Pull through it, Vern, I thought. We need you. A little less than an hour later, it was time to depart, but Vern was nowhere to be found.
Hurry, Skyfarers! We can't waste another second!
The later we got there, the more supplies would be stolen or destroyed. This could add up to weeks or even months of delays in Tempeel's restoration. Vern, I hope you're okay, bud. I was worried out of my mind, but a captain's gotta do what a captain's gotta do. I left a message for Vern with the merchant, and we set out.
Goblins? I can't even fight stinking goblins! What good am I? Just a scaredy lizard who brings everybody down. Man. If only I was more like my pal, swinging swords and shooting spells. Then I'd finally be able to help out. Maybe I could have stopped Avia from taking Lyria. Maybe I could have done something. How do you live the skyfaring life without combat skills? Heck, I can't even blow sparks, much less fire. What kind of dragon can't breathe fire? Ha! I tell everybody I'm a cool dragon, but I'm just a faker.
You are unworthy.
You were right, Ed. I'm not worthy. Not worthy of being in the crew. Not worthy of being the captain's best bud.
Oh, finally, here you are! I was looking everywhere for you.
Uh-huh. What did this old dude want with me?
Your captain left you a message. The crew's gone on ahead, but as an indispensable member of the Grand Cipher, they want you with them as soon as possible. And that's an order.
Indispensable? That meant, like, VIP, right? Me? For a second there, I was about to blow it off. Like, yeah, right, my bud's just saying that. But then I remembered, this crew had always kept it real. No lies, no flattery. Yeah, we kicked butt because we believed in one another. These guys were my best friends. And maybe we weren't perfect. I mean, we lost to Id, but my bud put his captain boots on and got right back up and tried again. It was never about swords or magic. It was about always moving forward, never giving up. And more than anything, it was about being there for each other. What was I worrying about? Who cares if I couldn't fight? There are 1,000,002 ways to help on an adventure. I mean, you try questing without a cook or a healer.
Hello? Merchant of Vern, do you read me? If you're done daydreaming now, I've got a ship ready to go.
It was time to get a move on, or I wasn't worth my scales. Sorry, everybody. Pal Vern is on his way.
Prep and ready.
The supply should be this way. Let's move.
Uh-oh, our potion stock's running low. We'll be okay against a few goblins, right?
Hopefully. Just don't overdo it. I hope Vern's okay.
He was really down, wasn't he? Poor Vern.
Get out of our way! We're in a hurry here! Let's move! Rain on the hill. Darkness, death!
Damn, we're back for more. Right when we were about to cross the finish line.
I see people! Over there, by the supplies! We have to go help them! It's working!
Folks doing okay?
Skyfarers! We're doing better now. We need these supplies to repair Tempio. Please, could you protect them?
We're on it! Take cover, okay? I think that was the last of them.
Thank you. You've saved Tempio's future.
Heads up, goblin reinforcements. Just don't quit.
Did you miss me? Took me forever to catch up.
Vern, was that an explosive? When did you get bombs?
Here come more of those stinking gobbles. Can you take them?
Sure can.
Wyverns are coming from above! Watch your nose!
If those goblins manage to steal any more of the supplies, then the relief effort's good as done. No kidding. They've already hauled half our grain to higher ground.
Higher ground? Sounds like a job for a cool dragon.
That's a great idea, Vern. Put your wings to use.
Are you sure you can manage? What if the goblins fought you?
Piece of cake. I'll be back in 30 seconds or your money back. I found some of the stolen supplies. They're safe and sound. It's working. Not quite. Watch out! Here's second blood. Thank you. I brought potions. Everyone feeling better?
Thanks, Vern. You're a lifesaver.
Those goblins are getting nasty. Don't fall for their tricks.
Panacea! Evanescence.
What are they made of?
What a treat!
Got 'em all back! Those stinking goblins didn't get a single sack!
The enemy have started their retreat. I think the worst has passed.
Thanks to you Skyfarers, Tempiel's finally gonna be rebuilt. We owe you everything.
Vern was the real MVP.
Aw, shucks. I bet you say that to all your lifelong pals.
Good work! Now let's get back out there! After we'd secured the supplies, Vern talked about how he didn't think he was good enough for the crew. Obviously, he was the only one that felt that way. I'd always appreciated his support. During fights, he was a supply runner, lookout, and cheerleader. And both on and off the battlefield, he was my courage. But even the best people, and dragons, get discouraged sometimes. I really should have been more vocal about my appreciation. But he knows now. We won the day because he came flying to the rescue. Just like I knew he would.
I'll always be there for you, pal.
He was back to his old self, basking in the praise of the crew, which caused his ego to swell like a balloon, but hey, who doesn't need a little confidence boost after a dip? And Vern, let me just say it now. I value you and all the hard work you do. From the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Hello.
Sometime after our mission in Tempeal, we bumped into the old merchant in Folka.
Well, look who the cat dragged in. Thanks for handling things in Tempeal. You all deserve the best.
Tempeal had been roughed up by Furykin's rampage, and all of the locals were busy repairing the damage. The work we did that day had been crucial to those recovery efforts.
Out of curiosity, my young lizard friend, were you much help to your crew?
Uh-oh, he said the L word. I turned to Vern, ready for his usual furious tagline.
Thanks, Pops. You really helped me see the light.
Huh. This was new. The old man threw an apple to Vern and they exchanged a nod. Then, without explaining this bizarre bond between them that just came out of the blue, he left.
Does anyone else feel like the space-time continuum just broke?
Io was staring dumbfounded at the small dragon, who was already happily munching away on a tart Granny Smith. Had he matured enough to ignore his most hated of hated insults?
Seriously, this is just too much to believe. He called you a lizard and everything. Maybe the ship will be a little quieter from now on, huh?
Hold it! I ain't no lizard! And don't you say that in front of the apple! What if it hears you?
Maybe he'd get there in another adventure or two.
If I hadn't met Master Zaka on that fateful day, if he hadn't saved me, there's no way I'd be where I am now. I'm from the Vault's Duchy, where the weather's sweltering all year long, thanks to a river of lava that flows through the island. My hometown might not have been the most scenic place, but as long as I had Master Zaka with me, I was happy. After traveling for so long, I can finally say that with pride. Before I left on my journey, I was completely clueless. When my master went missing, I just ran around like a chicken with its head cut off. I was looking for something, anything that would help me find him, and that's when I met the crew. The reason behind his disappearance turned out to be even worse than I could have imagined. The Earth State Empire had driven him out of his mind. They had manipulated him into awakening the primal beast that had lain dormant beneath the ground, Colossus. Fortunately, I was able to break through to him, thwarting the Empire's attempt to exploit Colossus's powers for conquest. I learned that they were doing all sorts of horrible things, even to their own people, in order to achieve their goals. My master was a kind person who never hesitated to help those in need. I resented the Empire for making him suffer. And I couldn't just sit around when there was work to be done. That's why I decided to join the crew. To stick it to those Empire jerks and give their victims something to smile about. A few years before I met the crew, I lost my parents to an epidemic. I mourned their deaths for who knows how long. I could barely even bring myself to face reality each morning. With no living relatives in vaults, I was like a ship adrift at sea. I had nowhere to go and nowhere to belong. Until one day, my master reached out his hand to me. I was so depressed I just kept staring at the ground. But that gentle smile never left his face as he asked me, "Why do you look so sad?" There was something in his voice that made me look up. When I did, a beautiful bouquet of flowers appeared in his hand, seemingly out of thin air. I had no idea how he'd done it, but I knew it must have been some kind of parlor trick. But he insisted it was magic. What a goofball, right? Saying that when he can use real magic. But it was just the magic I needed at that moment. Beautiful and kind. He went on to show me all kinds of incredible spells, the likes of which I'd never seen before. Watching him made me smile at a time when I thought I'd forgotten how. My master would always say that magic exists to make people happy. Something about that spoke to me. It made me want to become a mage just like him. So I signed myself up as his disciple, begging him to teach me magic. I'll never forget how happy I was when he told me I had talent. After all, if he was right, that meant I had the potential to make people smile too. One day, shortly after I joined the crew, I suddenly lost the ability to use magic. No matter how many times I tried casting a spell, nothing happened. I had no clue what to do. The rest of the crew thought Master Zaka might have the answers I needed, so we set sail for Vaults. It'd been forever since I'd been back home. My master was thrilled to see how much I'd grown. I opened my mouth to ask him about my problem, but when I saw how happy he looked, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I promised him that I'd come back as a great mage, but there I was, unable to cast even a single spell. The last thing I wanted was for him to be disappointed in me. Around that time, an epidemic returned to Vaults, the same disease that had claimed the lives of my parents. Wanting to keep it from spreading any further, my master headed to the clinic to speak with the people who'd been infected. But he ended up getting sick too. The source of the epidemic turned out to be an evil spirit that revealed itself to us right there in the clinic. I immediately confronted it. That rotten creature had already taken my parents from me. I wasn't gonna let it take anyone else. Determined to make it pay, I raised my staff, but nothing happened. I'll never forget how it felt to watch, helplessly, as my parents' killer got away. The crew gave chase, but I continued to stand where I was. Without my magic, I didn't see the point. I'd just end up getting in the way. All I could do was watch as my master suffered, withering away. Nothing had changed since the last time. But you know, it wasn't all bad. In search of a solution to my magic loss at the local library, I happened to come across a beautiful golden staff, one left to me by my mother. That's when Master Zaka revealed that my mother had been a mage too. On the verge of tears, I clenched my staff tightly in frustration. My beloved home and master were being threatened by a disease-spreading spirit, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. Just as I began feeling completely hopeless, the staff began to glow. Somehow I could feel it encouraging me, empowering me. So what if I couldn't use magic? Surely there were other ways to help everyone. Unable to stand around doing nothing any longer, I ran off to find the crew. When I finally tracked them down, they'd already been rendered powerless by the disease. That left me as the only person who could fight. There wasn't a second to lose. It was that moment when I decided I was done running away. I'd promised myself a long time ago that I was going to use my magic to make people happy. Filled with newfound resolve, I heard a voice coming from the staff. Mom? Is that you? The voice told me to visualize the power flowing through me. As I did, I could feel magic welling up inside me, flooding out from deep within. With my mom's help, I was able to defeat the evil spirit. As soon as it was gone, I erupted from my staff. I turned to see the rest of the crew climbing to their feet, their symptoms gone. The power spread through the entire island of Voltstucci, eliminating the disease and bringing smiles back to the people. Things were a little touch and go there for a while, but in the end, everyone pulled through. And I've been able to use my magic without any issue ever since. I just know it's because my mom is watching over me through my staff. Thanks to her, I can keep traveling with the crew, using the staff she left me to bring out more smiles along the way. While out running errands in Folca one day, I came across a crowd of people in the town square. But from the sounds of things, it wasn't a friendly get-together.
I hate you all! Mom, Dad, everybody in this stupid town!
The boy shouted angrily at the adults and took off running, right into me. We both landed on our backsides. Sheesh, watch where you're going, kid. That's when I noticed the tears streaming down his face. He was clearly upset about something. Hey, you okay? The boy hopped to his feet without a word, shooting me a glare before sprinting away. One of the adults started to follow after him, but...
Please, Doctor, there's not much time.
The crowd stopped him in his tracks.
But I can't just... No, you're right. My patients need me. Forgive me, Lev.
The man closed his eyes, muttered something to the townspeople, and ran off in the opposite direction. Wait, that kid was crying! You're not gonna go after him? I shouted after the man's back, but he either didn't hear me, or pretended not to. Then I felt a gentle hand on my shoulder.
I'm sure he wants to, sweetheart. You see, that boy is his son.
The boy's name was Lev. His father was a doctor, with many patients needing urgent care, so he had no choice but to ask the townspeople to find his son for him. I knew I should mind my own business, but I couldn't get the poor kid's face out of my head. He was probably hiding somewhere all by himself, crying his eyes out. I understood all too well how painful it felt to be alone. When Master Sokka reached out to me, it changed my life forever. Maybe it was my turn to do the same for someone else. I turned to ask the crew if we could join the search, but they were already gearing up to head after him. It seemed we'd all had the same idea. Just you wait, Lev, I thought to myself. I was gonna find him and put a smile back on his face, even if it meant sticking my nose where it didn't belong. The villagers didn't seem too worried about Lev. According to them, he'd have to venture much deeper into the forest before encountering any monsters. But that wasn't the issue. It seemed like nobody wanted to talk about why he'd run off in the first place. It was an obvious cry for help, and nobody was helping. I went through the same thing back in the day. Even after I met my master, there were times when the loss of my parents was just too much to bear. I didn't go so far as to run from home, but I'd sit alone in the corner of my room, hugging my knees to my chest and crying. Whenever Master Zaka found me like that, he'd always perform a silly magic trick to cheer me up. Just like me, all Lev wanted was for someone to find him, to take his hand, so he went off on his own in the hopes that someone would come for him. I'm sure he knew it was selfish, but it was the only card he felt he had left.
Do you think this means Lev doesn't want to live at home anymore?
I had a feeling that wasn't the case. He's probably just going through a rebellious phase.
Oh, that's when kids start arguing and acting out, right? Catalina told me it's pretty common. Did you have a phase like that?
Lyria's question was innocent enough, but I was too embarrassed to admit that I'd ever gone off alone because I wanted someone to pay attention to me. Heck no! That's not something befitting of a grown lady like myself. So what if I told a little lie? Our biggest concern right now was Lev, who was out there, probably crying with his back up against some rough, silent tree. He needed a friend, and I was more than determined to be one for him. This forest is as huge as ever. I sure hope Lev's okay.
Come on! We've gotta find him, and fast! Wait, we're still on the edge of the forest, right? What are goblins doing here?
Will you protect me?
Your witness!
Thanks for the help.
We're in for it now!
Wind in the field. There's no time to waste. We've gotta find him.
Watch out for the flyers! We're gonna need that magic of yours, yo!
I don't see him anywhere.
That's a lot of monsters. Guess we'll just have to take them all out.
I'm on it.
Look at him! Incoming!
Oh, come on! Just leave us alone already!
Do your best, people!
Now we're talking!
Nightfall! Watch out!
I'll show you how that gets away!
Looks like that's the last of them!
Lev's all alone out there! Come on!
Look! There he is! Over there!
Hey, Uggo! I'm the one you want!
Reach back!
We won't lose!
It's over! Will you pass me? Let's break you in! Gravity well! I need your aid!
Let us take them!
Sure is!
Wonderful, Io! You think so? Thank you! worry. They're gone now. You okay?
Yeah, thanks.
We were lucky we found Lev when we did, or he would have been Monster Chow. But before we could talk to him, the town watch came hurrying over.
Lev, your parents are worried sick about you. Come on, let's go home.
Lev looked away, ignoring the old man's outstretched hand. I could imagine how he was feeling, being treated like he was selfish and immature, when all he wanted was someone to sit down and talk to. The man sighed and scratched his head in frustration.
Your mom and dad are fine people. Try being a little more considerate, okay?
Lev immediately bristled at those words, breaking his silence.
What do you know? This is all your fault!
Knocking the man's hand out of the way, he turned and ran deeper into the forest. It was like watching a scene from my own past, but I wished he'd get a grip already. The deeper he went into the forest, the more likely he was to get attacked. We had to hurry. Need something? We all split up to search for Lev so we could cover more ground. I didn't see any trace of him at first, so I thought I must have gone the wrong way. But then I noticed footprints that looked like someone had slipped over a nearby ledge. And sure enough, when I peeked down, I saw a familiar figure sitting hunched over, knees to his chest. He looked a little scraped up, but didn't seem to be hurt badly. I was just glad I'd managed to find him still in one piece. When I told him I was a Skyfarer, he immediately burst into tears of relief. I could tell he was upset with the villagers about something, and that's why he couldn't be honest with them. But as an outsider, I thought I might have a chance. Watch closely. I'm gonna cast some special magic just for you. It was time for one of my master's patented magic tricks. I showed Lev my empty palm before covering it with a handkerchief. I flung the cloth away, and voila! There was a piece of candy in my hand.
Wow, candy!
Here, you can have it. After devouring the candy, he finally calmed down.
Thanks.
Normally, that would have been enough to lift any kid's spirits. But his face fell again as quickly as it had lit up. I guess he really doesn't want to go home. I decided I wouldn't leave him until there was a smile back on his face. While we were still deep in the woods, I decided to ask Lev up front. Why did you run away? He hesitated at first, but after seeing that I was serious, he started to open up.
My mom and dad used to work as doctors in Tempeal.
Back then, all had been well with their family. But when Furikin went berserk, they lost their home and ended up moving to Folka. That was when things started to fall apart. His parents began to spend all of their time tending to patients who were affected by the disaster, with hardly a moment's rest. Lev watched as his mom got paler and the black circles under her eyes grew darker and darker. He begged her to take a break, but it was no use. Eventually, she collapsed from overwork.
I told her she wouldn't be able to help people anymore if she got sick. She just wouldn't listen to me.
And And here I thought he was just a kid going through a rebellious phase. That wasn't the case at all. That's really grown up of you, Lev. You're just worried about your mom and dad, huh?
Yeah.
After hearing Lev's explanation, I finally understood how he felt. I knew how hard it was watching people you cared about pushing themselves too hard. I couldn't stand to see my master doing it either. And that's exactly what was going through Lev's mind. He wasn't being selfish. Everything he did, it was because he loved his parents.
I come from a long lineage of proud warriors. We had a great number of visitors at our dojo, many of them masters of their respective disciplines. At some point, I picked up a blade of my own and began to mimic their movements. Back then, I enjoyed the training for what it was, valuing the journey over the destination. That is, until I met him, the Supreme Swordsmaster of the Eternals, Eata, once known as the demon Zomba. With a single glance, he identified all of my weaknesses. Then, with a few words, he taught me to overcome them. His strength was beyond captivating. I even eavesdropped on a conversation between him and my father, and discovered we were distant relatives. I was elated. For some time, he continued to train at our family dojo. I took every opportunity I could to learn from him, following him wherever he went. I ate whenever he ate. I committed all his mannerisms to memory. However, with the exception of our first encounter, he never acknowledged me. After all, he yearned for nothing more than strength. Why pay heed to a weakling, such as myself? So I vowed to become stronger. I would soar so high, he'd have to see me. I dedicated myself to training, begrudging even a single moment of respite. The blade was everything to me. And eventually, there was no disciple at the dojo who could come close to rivaling my skill. That was around when he vanished. In the blink of an eye, he was out of my life. He spoke not another word to me, nor called me by name. I was meditating in the forest one day when a group of travelers approached me. I didn't know them, but they were the captain and the crew of the Grand Cipher, and my future. Initially, I thought they were lost and had come to ask for directions. I was only half correct. They were seeking guidance, but not out of the woods. They wanted to learn martial arts from me. I shook my head. I was no master, only a chrysalis struggling to break free of my own shell. I believed the captain was mocking me, but that wasn't the case. I looked into the captain's eyes and found truth, alongside a burning desire for strength. It felt as if I was in his presence again. I found myself drawn to the captain. That's why I decided to join the crew of the Grand Cipher on their journey across the skies. I was convinced that this was the only path that could reunite me with Zomba. One day, I encountered an adorable Harvan girl at a local market. I I'd already finished my shopping, so I decided to accompany her to a nearby cafe for tea and conversation. Upon parting, I asked for her name. She proudly introduced herself as Fief, one of the 10 Eternals. I had heard that Zomba once cared for a child of the same name. A jealousy brewed within me that I hadn't felt before. Zanba had taken notice of her, yet he never once acknowledged me during our time together. My inner peace had been shattered. I retreated to the mountains and started my training anew. But the more I tried to find direction, the more I realized how lost I truly was. It was Lyria and the captain who brought me back. They appreciated me for who I was. Nothing more, nothing less. Perhaps I too could learn to love the living, breathing me, and not a ghost of the future. That thought filled me with so much contentment. I was ready to give up on chasing Zomba. But the universe works in strange ways. As soon as I was about to let go, Fief helped bring me and Zomba together again. It was then I finally put into words how I felt. I spoke about how I wanted him to acknowledge me, to call my name. He listened quietly, and for what I felt was the first time, truly saw me. But I had yet to see and love myself. As part of my quest for self-discovery, I crossed blades with Zomba. No, Eata. We fought for days. He no longer believed I was a weakling. After our battle, we visited the tea shop, and it was there that he first addressed me by name. Never had tea and cake tasted so sweet to me. Now, with nothing holding me back, I am free to soar toward ever greater heights with my beloved companions on the Grand Cipher. I had failed that day at the Hailwind Altar. I had spent years training and sharpening my skills, devoted my entire life to the pursuit of strength. But in that moment, it all amounted to nothing. Our experiences in Zego Grande had planted a seed of doubt in my mind. Over time, it grew, dense and wild as a jungle, choking me with a sense of helplessness like I'd never felt before. I wasn't able to protect Lyria or the captain. I had found my identity as a big sister, as a guardian, but now that I'd failed, who was I? I thought about resuming my training, but I couldn't afford to isolate myself like that. What if something were to happen while I was away? Then, the solution came to me. Whenever the captain was about to take on a dangerous mission, I would complete it first. That way, I could train myself and protect the crew in one fell swoop. I was too blind to see that despair had clipped my wings and chained me once again to the past. Are there any particularly dangerous missions available? Sierra Carte, with her usual cheery disposition, set a list of options before me.
Sure are. We've got a few jobs here that only a crew of your caliber could handle. In fact...
She paused and looked at me with a quizzical expression.
You know, I can't even remember the last time I saw you here by your lonesome. Don't you usually do things as a crew?
I told her I intended to undertake these missions alone, as part of my training.
I gotcha. The grind never ends for you, huh? Just don't push yourself too hard, you hear?
I nodded, only half acknowledging Ciro's words. After deciding upon a venture, I chartered a small carrier vessel which would take me to a nearby island. As the ship was tossed about the turbulent winds, I closed my eyes and looked for peace within. This is for their sake, as well as mine. According to Ciro, the threat should be somewhere around here. Three-flutter stance. I sense great evil. Just a little farther. Shall we test which is stronger? Your shield or my blade? Stay vigilant! The tide rises! Such malice. You cannot be allowed to live. Come with me. Rain on the hill. Quickly! I can see how this battle will end. It ends with your death! Crescent Moon! Your anger is no match for mine. Like the declare. Come with me. The butterfly emerges. Once more. Breathe it. Wind in the field. The pond settles. The butterfly emerges. They've gone mad. Again. Foam on the sea. You bring nothing to the skies but suffering. Perish! But it's not over yet. I will not rest while evil runs free. Do you not have anything more dangerous? I made quick work of the mission and returned at once to Ciro. She seemed taken aback when I demanded more work, but I was determined. If someone had to risk their life, better me than the captain. The crew didn't have to know. They would be kept free from worry and danger, while I grew stronger. I was so absorbed in my thoughts, I'd failed to notice how Sierra's eyes grew ever more clouded with worry.
Hello.
I continued to take one treacherous job after another. If you want someone safe, then keep them from entering the tiger's den. It's as simple as that.
Are you really sure you're up for another one, Nermaya?
Sierra worried for me, but there was no turning back now. My labor had bore fruit. The rest of the crew was beginning to look healthier, better rested. They returned earlier from missions, bearing fewer injuries. I appreciate the concern, Sierra, but the path to strength is long and narrow, and I must continue down this path, for all of their sakes. I was fixated on protecting my loved ones. They were all I could see. If they were safe, then nothing else mattered. That thought alone was enough to steel my resolution.
I'm from Tremont Island, a quiet little place where I lived with my parents and sister. Things were good, except my sister was suffering from a terrible condition. We couldn't treat her on Tremont, so she was forced to travel to another island, all on her own. Back then, skyfaring wasn't nearly the safe bet that it is today, so I wasn't sure if she'd even make it there, let alone receive treatment. I loved my sister more than anything, so waving bye to her as she took off toward an unknown future was the hardest thing I'd ever done. I hoped beyond all hope. I hoped till it hurt, that her cure would be swift, and she'd sail back to me with each setting sun. But the days, they grew into months. Sometime after she left, a brutal pandemic spread across Tremont, crippling our population in a matter of days. I was shocked, watching the good people I'd known all my life pass away. But I was horrified when it claimed my parents. And when it came for me, I knew death was waiting at the front door. What can I do? I thought, lungs heavy and weighing me to my bed. What could I do but turn to the skies and pray? Please, if you're listening, I want to hear my family. I want to hear their voices again. My pleas were answered, but not by salvation. No, it was Celeste, the primal beast of death, who descended from the heavens. She stole death from the suffering islanders, preventing them from slipping into the afterlife. They became zombies, sentient and rotting. Unlike the others, my corporeal form faded away, leaving my spirit to haunt the land. This, at least, gave me a faint hope. If I was given an unlife, then perhaps my mother and father would be given the same gift. But the months, they grew into years. and it became clear that though Celeste held dominion over death, life was a more complicated matter. It was my wish that had brought unlife to Tremont. I was to blame for turning my hometown into a living cemetery. If the villagers knew what I had done, well, that's why I chose to haunt the manor on the outskirts of town. Alone in those halls, with no one to talk to, I counted the days until I lost track of time. Solitude was better than guilt. Isolation was better than hearing my name used as a curse. But with time, the silence ate away at my name, until even I forgot who I was. It's true that there weren't people around the manor, but I did discover a few ghost animals floating about. They took a liking to me, probably because of our shared ghosthood, and I gave them cute names to show my affection. Beppo, Gigi, Fuji, and Nicola. Before I knew it, my lonesome days became a little less gray, if not less repetitive. I watched so many tomorrows and yesterdays pass me by. I felt as stale and constant as the mists that covered the island. That all changed when the crew came to my manor. They were a cheerful, lively group, but also straightforward and intimidating. It had been so long since I needed to interact with other people. I knew that if I made contact, I would have to acknowledge the real depth of my loneliness. So I ran, and they gave chase. So I ran again, and they followed once more. No matter where I fled, they found me, undeterred by my spectral form or my ghostly pets. Finally, I decided to ask them about their situation. Thanks to the mists, they explained, their airship was grounded on Tremont. Like me, like the other islanders. We were all prisoners of Celeste. So long as she still had a pact with the island, there would be no refuge from her fog. But, by the same token, her powers preserved the unlives of Tremont's people, myself included. If Celeste was brought down, we would fade with her. It troubled me, but I knew it was a necessary course of action. I had only one thing to accomplish before confronting the primal beast of death. I needed to come clean to the islanders. It was time to make amends. Had it not been for the arrival of the captain and the crew, I would never have found the strength to make that decision. I marched straight to the village, took a deep breath, and explained to the people how I doomed everyone. But to my surprise, they looked upon me with sympathy and warmth. With the understanding and support of the islanders, I called Celeste once again. But she didn't appear, and the mist still covered the island. That's how I learned the truth. It wasn't only me who had crossed Celeste's fate with our own. The other culprit was the doctor who was traveling through our village, back when the pandemic first appeared. He was secretly conducting research to summon Celeste. We hurried to the place where he resided, but when we arrived, we found that his consciousness had already been swallowed by the primal beast of death, and he couldn't cough up any helpful information. Despite the setback, I joined with the crew and the islanders to find and defeat Celeste. The mists parted, and the island returned to its former state. Its residents began to pass into the great beyond, disappearing into light. Before long, everyone I'd known had been lifted into the bright sky, leaving behind only their memories. I closed my eyes and waited for my final moments. But no matter how long I waited, I never began to fade. Left behind, yet again. I stared out at the village, devoid of residents. I was alone, but I could accept that. At any rate, the nameless ghost was no more, because a strange man gave me an oddly familiar name. So long as I had that name, and my memories with the crew, I could wait decades, maybe even centuries, for my sister to return. I think the captain, however, couldn't bear leaving me to such a hollow fate, and invited me to the crew. But how could I leave the island? I knew that my little sister would come back to me. Even though we were no more than graves and warm thoughts, this is where her family was laid to rest. If she came back and no one was waiting, wouldn't she be sad? That's why I knew I had to stay. But the captain wouldn't hear of it. If I was worried about my sister, I should go look for her. It was a new chance. I had never been off my island. I had never even considered the option. But I knew I could. I just needed to find the courage. And that's how I set out on a journey with the crew. Somewhere, out there in that big blue sky, my sister is waiting for me. One day, I was out shopping in Seed Hollow Central Plaza when I saw a woman with kind eyes sitting on a bench. She was absorbed in her needlepoint. "Your embroidery is beautiful."
Oh, aren't you a dear? Thank you.
Her smile was genuine and cozy, just like the blanket she was working on. She told me it was a present for her beloved. I've never seen anyone so outside before. She giggled. "Really? I'm hoping some of this cheerful sunlight works its way into the fiber." Her name was Malfira, and she invited me to have a seat beside her. Admittedly, the weather was beautiful, the kind that made you appreciate being alive. Or, well, unalive. There was a long, thin trail of white dividing the sky, the aftermath of an unfortunate cloud that had been pierced by a wayfaring airship. How fragile those clouds. How fragile our journeys. I glanced back at Malfira, who looked to be making diligent progress. A familiar memory crept to mind, of a time when I begged my mother to sew new stuffed animals for me and my sister. The nostalgia was comfortable, welcomed even, but I was brought back to the present when I heard a troubled sigh from beside me. Is something wrong? Such a forlorn expression didn't match Malfira's cheerful disposition.
Oh, sorry to worry you. It's nothing I would bother a stranger over.
Malfira forced a grin and stretched the throw across her lap.
It's just, I had hoped to use warming thread on this little project.
What kind of thread? I didn't even know there were different types of thread. But according to Malfira, there was a type of insect native to Fondom, whose silk was imbued with magic. Items made from this silk were said to retain a comfortable warmth all year round.
If only I could get to Fondom on my own. And then there's the matter of tracking the insect.
Her smile never quavered. but the way her eyebrows stitched together, ever so slightly, covertly signaled her true disappointment. I could do it for you. I know I look young, but I'm a veteran Skyfarer. I put my hands on my hips and puffed out my chest, a posture I hoped would inspire confidence.
Oh, that's sweet. But it was just a silly thought. My fault for having unrealistic expectations, really.
From her tone alone, I could tell the pose did not, in fact, inspire confidence. Later, after a quick discussion with the captain, we decided to head to Fondom anyway. I needed Malfira to finish her blanket. I just didn't understand why yet. All pets on deck. According to Sierra, the insect in question nests atop the local wildlife, but there's a rumor a vicious monster also makes its home here. Stay on your toes. Those look like fire spirits.
We better get them before they get us!
We're not done here.
That is lights out!
Evanescence.
Another chance! Wanna
Leave it to me!
A sight to see.
Did you like that?
You too.
Behave! It's so hot! I feel like my sweat is sweating! Why are we going through the trouble again?
Sorry. I just wanted to put a smile on Malfira's face. She looked so... I don't know... forlorn?
But it was your first time meeting her, wasn't it? Who's she to you?
I know it's a weird connection. But her name... it sounded like my sister's. No one beats on my friends. Looks like someone wants to fight. Let's teach them not to butt in.
The time is right.
Sure is!
Roger! Wonderful, Eo.
You think so? Thank you.
Now, the fun begins!
Don't get cute!
More wyverns. Momo, you bring up the rear. Want to green and
No mercy.
Get down.
There are no heights we cannot scale.
Great. Okay. Got it.
Come on.
Ready to go.
You're mine.
Yes.
Well done.
The next will be even better.
Bring it on.
Rain on the head.
It's all right, Nicola. I'll protect you from the mean monsters. It's go time.
Right behind you.
Let's go.
That was great, everyone.
And yet there are still greater heights to climb.
Thanks.
Death breeds life.
Watch out!
Nice ball. Wind in the
Fuji! Gigi! Beppo! Down, boys! Can't play so close to the magma. What if you fall in?
Quick! Get in the circle! Gigi!
It's a relief having you in our pack.
I wish you'd let me spoil you some more.
Huh? What's that?
Burn! Look out! It's a monster in disguise! You must be that vicious monster we heard about. If you thought you could get a leg up on us, you have another thing coming. Now, get whipped! Take the stage!
So long,
Let's get it started. I'm just everyone, on me! To pack that place together, stay together! Amaya! Big sister defense! All is wait. Ew! Yep, I'm here! Captain! Yep, here goes! A 1, 2, ascension! There's more where that came from! Harmony is the basic of power. Let's stay cautious! Take it out! Will you protect me? Let's break this! That's the advantage! Take the stage, Lucicola! The final. Nice! Another one in the book! Now we can find that bug in peace. You hungry for more? Is this what you were looking for? I proudly displayed the hard-won thread to a surprised and overjoyed Malfira.
My word, you really are a Skyfarer, aren't you?
She took the spool for a closer look.
Yes, this is the genuine article. I can't accept this for free. Let me see what money I have on me.
From her purse, she pulled a single, unfamiliar coin. I knew from its extravagant design that it wasn't in circulation anywhere near Seed Hollow, but it looked valuable all the same. I refused the gesture. Retrieving the thread was my decision. I wanted to see that blanket finished. A reward was never part of the equation. Malfira's grin bloomed into a full belly laugh. She told me I was a strange girl. Laughing with her, I replied that I had met stranger. Hello. We made another pit stop in Seed Hollow, which gave me the chance to check up on Malfira and her progress with the blanket. Lyria and Vern came with me, and their eyes lit up when they saw her intricate embroidery, just like mine did that first sunny day. Though I hadn't known Malfira for very long, I felt a kinship with her, and I liked to watch her determination evolve with each new stitch. But most of all, I liked that her kind smile, maternal and comforting, was always able to put me at ease. I'd never met anyone so genuine. In fact, nor had my pets.
Who's a spooky boy? Yes, you are.
Malfira playfully scratched behind Beppo's ears. The mood was light, so I decided to learn a little more about my friend. I noticed you're in the Central Plaza quite often.
More or less. I don't have much else to occupy my time. Not with that silly boy still playing in the sand.
Malfira's partner was a geologist on dispatch in Dolly, an extended dispatch, it seemed. Dolly was an island of deserts, with bitterly cold nights. To Malfira, a cozy blanket seemed the perfect way to combat the harsh environment.
Maybe it won't be necessary. He's coming back for a visit on the Airbus next month, and I'm about to burst with excitement.
Her joy should have been infectious. Try as I might to put on a brave face, my heart sank at her words. The Airbus from Dolly? Of course.
Have a good day. Need something? Which will it be? This one? Will you take this one? Best of luck.
Trust in your big sister.
I'll handle it. Oh, circus, huh? Keep on your toes.
Letter.
I'm
right behind you.
This crew rocks. That's right.
Hear that, Fuji?
You're such a good
We'll
boy.
claim any foe. The clouds clear.
Daddy alert. It's go time.
The pond settles. Breathe, Letter. Great support. Dawn. The butterfly emerges. The clouds clear.
Uh-oh. This guy looks strong.
Life is a
You
day.
better watch out.
Again.
You okay?
What a treat!
Now!
You're right. Let's go!
Big sister will be just fine. Like the dawn.
Better act quick before they run!
The pond settles.
Daddy alert! It's go time!
Rain on the nightfall. Dawnfly stands. The butterfly emerges.
Oh, thank you!
The clouds scatter. Come, my friend. The butterfly emerges. The pond settles.
Uh-oh! This guy looks strong! You better watch out!
Letter.
Now's our chance!
Let's go!
You're mine!
Leave it to me!
Well done!
Aw, you
That was
did it!
great!
Yeah, that was great!
I think they poisoned me! Boy, out!
You're so thoughtful, Captain. Come! You are a steadfast ally.
That was great!
Right? We did well.
Slide! Better act quick before they
One
run!
stroke. 1,000 deaths. Butterfly effect. Moonrise!
Look alive! We've got company!
Oh, what? You're right! Ready, take this!
Cloud. Burn to ash!
We're looking good so far! You got this! Uh-oh! This guy looks strong! You better watch out!
Foam on this crescent moon.
Get them! They shall fall!
We sure taught them a lesson.
Still enemies left, but you can take them!
We're out. Don't keep you safe. It's not over yet. Right.
Right!
Can't lose
Got
focus.
this up, Theo! Right! Better act quick before they run! Don't worry! We're in the home stretch now! Keep it up! They want a fight? They've got one!
Letter. Farewell.
Good day. Let's see. What do you say? Will you accept it? Be on your way.
Enrage the tigress. Suffer her claws.
To your best!
Oh, thank you! Come, my friend.
Want a treat? This should do it!
They shall fall!
Keep it up, guys!
Of course.
Understood! Yes, I hear you!
Like the rain on the hill, death breathes life. Sing, my blade. Cloak. I'm feeling right as rain. The final. The tide rises. When it must be done.
All you! We're the best!
Hear that, Fuji? You're such a good boy. Foam on the sea. Come, my friend. You're right. They've been lost to anger.
It's over already? Boy, you're on a roll!
Wonderful. I am strong.
Good day. Let's see. What do you say? Will you accept it? We're counting on you.
All right. Move out. I'll
Watch
handle
out!
them.
Here they come!
Thanks for the help. I'll do my best for you.
Yeah!
The pond settles. Shatter!
That's one way down, but looks like there's still more of them. No fair! It called its buddies! Credit for help, you big sweetie!
The pond settles. The butterfly. The clouds clear.
Do your best, people! Oh, Captain! Let's break you in! It's go time! Let's go on it! Ew, we nailed it!
The butterfly emerges.
I mean us!
The pond.
Another chance!
I'm right behind you. Stay alert, everyone. Understood.
Let's go, crew! Okay!
Fine, B. Can we take 5? Then just keep coming, or we'll show them who's boss.
Dawn flies. The final. Rain on the hill. Cross the moon. Ready.
Nice follow through.
Agreed.
I'll do my best for you.
Wind in the field. Come, my friend. Come what may. The clouds clear. Life is a dance.
Do your best, people.
I won't disappoint you. Rain on the hills.
Looks like we got a second to catch our breath before things heat up again.
Foam on the sea.
Not liking the look of this.
One
But
stroke.
don't let it intimidate ya.
Butterfly effect. Moonrise!
Ew! Yep, I'm here! Don't blink!
Float.
The right fairy that we have to... Captain, let's do this!
No escape.
1, 2, time to chaos!
Rain on the hills. Harmony is the basis of power. Swift as thought. Certain as death! Rain on the hills.
It's not over yet. You've got a point.
Dawn flies. Cloud shatter. Float. Left. You have my gratitude.
Let's go!
Okay.
Let's finish them off! You got it!
Understood.
That's one wave down, but looks like there's still more of them. Last push! Make sure you get them all! Disappointed. It's go time.
Let's go!
That's what I call slaying the audience.
Let's keep it up!
Foam on the sea. Crescent moon.
And I think that's everything. You were awesome out there.
Like candlelight kissed by a breeze.
Good day. Which will it be? What do you say? Will you accept it? Best of luck.
Death breeds life.
Right. We'll look out for any strong attacks.
Foam on the sea. The tide rises. Rain on the hills. Crescent moon. Wind in the field. One stroke, 1,000 deaths. Butterfly effect, moonrise. Wind in the field. Float. The tide rises.
That was awesome. You were awesome.
Lucky me. Lovely.
Wonderful.
I am strong.
Good day. This one? Here are the details. Well then, so long.
No.
Let's do our best. It's the calm before the storm. Which crew member would you like to call? It's me! Cagliostro!
Donating yourself to alchemy. No. Whoa.
This much! You're Genzo! Sweet job!
Time to scrum. Adios. This should do the trick. Open up. Adios. Let's roll. Dumbass. Suck it up. Open up. Dissection time.
Beep beep!
Adios.
If anybody can save the day, it's your crew.
Your princess is ready for her escort.
I'm all ears. Tempering your weapons? I can make any weapon you want. Take care.
It's the calm before the storm. Now here's an offer you can't refuse. There you go. Stay safe out there, okay?
Welcome. Which weapon shall I strengthen? You can expect only the best. This turned out fantastic. Leave it to me. It's a great success. Always strive to be stronger. I'll unlock the power within. Please select a right stone for me to engrave. Thanks for coming.
Don't let this be your final battle. One Skyfarer's trash is another merchant's treasure. Hope this helps. If anybody can save the day,
No way!
Skyfarer, I temper in your weapons? Which weapon shall I strengthen? Let me show you what my master unlocks. Leave it to me. That went well. Always strive to be stronger. Let me show you what my master has taught me. Perfect. Leave it to me. Not bad, is it? Come again.
Hello. Let's see. Will you take this one? Be on your way.
Now, to battle.
How many of them are there? Don't let them swarm you!
I won't disappoint you! Enrage the tigress. Suffer her claws.
It just keeps coming! But we'll show them, boss!
Do your best. Thank you, Captain. Like the dawn. Three-blooded. Dawnfly standing. Let's roll. The butterfly emerges. Life is a dance. Wind in the field.
Doctor's in.
Not a single baddie left! Let's go check out the next place!
Like the dawn.
I'm not liking the look of this, but don't let it intimidate ya!
The pond settles. Let's roll.
That red is getting on my nerves!
The butterfly.
Watch out! our breath before things heat up again.
Let her.
I'm not liking the look of this, but don't let it intimidate ya.
The final.
The big center will help you fight. Yes!
Not yet. Leave it to me!
I'm right behind you.
You take the front line. I'll take the back.
Easy wish.
And great support. I think that's everything. You were awesome out there.
All limits are in the mind. Nice. How pleasant. Yes. Oh my. Perfect. Oh my. Perfect. How pleasant. Nice. There is no height I cannot climb. I will surpass every barrier. Yes! Oh my! Nice!
Hello. This one? Here are the details. We're counting on you.
Step decides the course of battle.
Yes, Needle.
I won't disappoint you. Sing, my blade. Wind in the field.
Did you see my magic? That's why we love ya.
Life is...
If we're not careful, it's fast us to bits.
demands blood. Swift as thought. Certain as death.
Suffering, let's go! Look at you! Aw, cutest!
Yes!
Rain on the hill, nightfall. Again.
Let's stay cautious.
Moonrise. The tide swells. All is swept away. No mercy. Fall. Stay focused.
Yeah. You got it.
The tide rises.
That was awesome. You were awesome.
Wonderful. Lovely. Lucky me. Balance is restored.
Good day. Which will it be? Will you take this one? Be on your way.
Trust in your big sister.
Stay alert. Don't let anything get the jump on you.
Life is a dance.
Watch
Raise
out!
the tiger.
You're
Suffer her All rivers lead to the sea.
Watch out!
We should check the
my blade. The first step decides the course of battle. The pawn. Tear them down! You cannot escape fate. Well done, everyone. What did you expect?
That's they're in charge.
All together!
Fine.
You got anything left?
Am I the founder of alchemy? Better buckle up, kid.
Light one is here. You guys okay? Now to take care of this area. The next zone awaits.
Enrage the tiger.
It's go time!
Suffer with wrath.
Sure thing!
I'll follow you.
Way to go, you too, Leo! Do your best!
Thank you, Captain. Rain on the moment of reckoning.
Might sting.
No one compares to our combined might.
Obviously.
Keep it up!
You have my thanks. Come with me. Forward! You cannot escape fate. This is not the end.
Nope, there's always bad guys to beat up.
Life is addictive.
Needles.
Stay out! We kicked some serious butt there. Let's keep it up. Nabby
The
alert!
first step
It's
decides
go
the course
time!
of battle.
Doctor
Soar! Small wings may beckon. Soar. Butterfly effect. Moonless.
I'll clean up here.
Ars Magna.
Eo!
On me!
Yep, here goes. A 1, 2, time of chaos!
Thank you for keeping us
Mr.
safe.
Lizard.
Both. Once more. Dance of the pink petals. Come, my friend. Tear them down. Enough! Strike now!
You're ready, people!
Rain on the hill.
Attack all
Right here.
Color me impressed.
We'll flame any foe.
This should do it!
Okay.
My pleasure.
Fly.
We're in the home stretch now! Keep it up!
Enrage the tigress. Suffer her loss.
Can't rest on our laurels just yet. Got a point.
I am.
The pond settles. Free flutter stance.
And I think that's everything. You were awesome out there.
Like candlelight kissed by a breeze.
Need something?
If it were me in his shoes, I'm sure I'd be worried sick about my parents, too. There's nothing wrong with worrying about your parents. I'm sure they're proud to have a son who cares so much.
But
what? Something was still on his mind.
I always wanted to be a great doctor, just like my mom and dad. But after my mom collapsed, I started thinking maybe everybody else was just using them.
Along the way, he'd stopped being able to trust the people of Folka, and he thought feeling that way meant he could never follow in his parents' footsteps. Lev stared at the ground as he spoke, finally confiding his troubles to me. After hearing his story, I began to open up about my own parents. He listened to my words in silence. My parents had also strained themselves too hard after getting sick, and eventually passed away. So Lev's circumstances were all too familiar. Just like him, I felt nothing but bitterness and despair. But there was one difference. I've got to admit, I envy you a little. After all, your mom and dad are still alive and well. While we were standing there talking, Lev's parents and the villagers were probably beside themselves with worry, braving the dangers of the forest to search for him. When I told him that, Lev finally seemed to grasp the situation.
I really messed up, didn't I? I'm sorry.
Are you sure I'm the person you should be saying that to? I stood up and smiled at Lev. He and his family all seemed like really good people. The only thing they needed to patch their home back together was a long heart-to-heart.
I opened my eyes and found the most entrancing face staring back at me. Clear skin, dewy eyes, and mischievous smile, all framed by soft golden locks. Involuntarily, my hand crept toward her cheek for a caress. But when flesh met mirror, I finally woke up and realized.
Yes. Good morning, me. Must still be hazy from exchanging bodies yesterday. Lacing my fingers together, I reached my arms up for a test stretch. Stiff. Not one to be bested by a vessel of my own design, I brought my palms together and began twisting. Take that, you stupid spine, I thought. You will rue the day you defied me. Just how many backbones and digits and faces had I conjured? I'd lived long enough to know it was foolish to try and keep track.
Cagliostro, did you hear? We're going to visit a new skydom!
Lyria's voice echoed from behind the door, snapping me back to the present.
Sounds fun! I'll be out in a jiffy!
My voice was a weaponized rainbow, strategically pitched to invoke thoughts of hugs and sunshine. As the cutest girl in all the skies, no other tone would live up to my utter perfection. You see, it's a common myth that cuteness is in the eye of the beholder. But actually, as I have witnessed through my research, it is a fundamental law of reality. I quickly brushed my disheveled hair, minus one lock, as per the theory of adorable bedhead optimization, and went to the door. The crew would need me at my cutest if they were to survive an untrodden skydom. About 2,000 years ago, before the war, I was a wretched, sickly little thing. We lived in a village with no doctor, so all I could do was wait for the release of death. I still remember the defeated look on my sister's face as she attended my bedside. I couldn't blame her. Not when she was surrounded by the other villagers and their whispers. None of them thought I was long for this world. But back in those days, the sky was full of children who would never live past adolescence. So my life was tragic, but common. With the exception, of course, of one detail. My intellect. I had been working on a theory of reality, one that would let me rewrite the laws of existence. I dubbed it alchemy. I was too weak to leave the house, but my sister would fetch me the necessary reagents for my experiments. At first, each failure was more spectacular than the last. Creating a fully functional body from nothing but dirt and speculation was complicated. Instead, I focused on creating an ageless vessel capable of housing a soul. Hypothesis, test, fail. Hypothesis, test, fail. My pile of discarded monstrosities grew with each unsuccessful trial. But finally, I succeeded in producing a small life form, no bigger than your average roach. Sure, a misplaced footstep would have killed the damn thing, but it was life nonetheless. And it was proof that I could achieve mastery over my own mortality. Now that I had more data, all it took was a few more months of testing, and voila! I had synthesized a flesh bag for myself. My soul was finally free to occupy a worthy form. Now, repeat this process a few thousand times, and my reputation spread throughout the skies, garnering love and admiration from the masses. Alchemy was at its apex, and death had been conquered for all. Yeah, right. More followers meant more opportunity for betrayal. Eventually, a faction of alchemists turned my own bloodline against me, and they managed to seal me away for centuries. Assholes. These magic prison stories always end the same way. A few hundred years of slumber, and people grow complacent. A group of clueless travelers, aka the crew of the Grand Cipher, managed to stumble upon my inert form and, foolishly mistaking me for a primal beast or something, lifted the seal. Immediately, I wanted to eradicate them. No one could find out I had regained my freedom. I would not suffer entombment again, even if it meant I needed to transmogrify a few Skyfarers. But then, I laid eyes upon Lyria and her blue hair, and there it was, an entity that I could not identify. I, who had unveiled the very laws of reality, could not classify her existence. She was surely from a different plane. My interest was piqued, and for that, I spared the crew. What can I say? Curiosity killed the alchemist. With no particular agenda for my newfound liberty, I offered my services to these Skyfarers. They would give me unfettered access to the girl, and I would give them unrestricted access to my findings. And as a bonus, I might save their asses a few times along the way. Of course, the captain readily accepted. Though I admit, there was something about the gleam in the captain's eye that caught my attention. What was so special, you ask?
That's for Cagliostro to know and for you to find out.
On a typical humdrum day, I was browsing Sierra Carte's wares for a few chemical essentials. Impressive how the world had become a network of convenience. What were previously rare and unobtainable items were now collecting dust on a tradewoman's shelves. My eyes traced the rows of flasks and potions before they settled on a vial clutched by the man standing next to me. Oh, toxin. An excellent choice. Save for the fact that his confused and brooding expression revealed he didn't quite understand what he was holding. Who was this moron? Well, now that I was aware of the potential hazard, I couldn't leave well enough alone. Traveling with the crew had certainly rubbed off on me.
Excuse me, mister? That looks scary. What you gonna do with it?
He looked stunned. An appropriate reaction, given my stunning countenance.
What? This? It's pigment. Needed for painting supplies.
Oh, I didn't take you for a painter, mister.
Pigments were frequently composed of toxic earth metals. Perhaps I worried over nothing.
It's not for me. My little sister's the artistic one.
Huh? His entire mood shifted, tense shoulders relaxing and lips curving into a soft grin. It was nothing like a few seconds ago, when he seemed to be studying the pigment like his life depended on it. Perhaps he was a few rupees short. No, mental calculus doesn't translate to confusion. His look was more concerned. No. I'd seen that exact expression before.
So what color picture will she paint? Cagliostro sure wants to see the final product. Aw, pretty please.
This is coming out of nowhere.
What the hell? Did I not give him the world's cutest plea? How dare he refuse me? He will suffer for...
But I guess it's okay. I actually have some free time now, if you're eager.
There. That was more like it. Lyria, the captain, and I followed the man to his studio, listening to him jabber about his life along the way. His name was Heimel, and he had been living alone with his sister, Shanae, ever since their parents died when they were younger. Their life was simple, he explained. But a simple life was a luxury for some.
Wait till you see! Shanae's paintings are breathtaking, and I'm not just saying that. The world needs her talent.
He was alight with passion. A stupid smile plastered across his face. True pride in his sister's craft. As for me, art was too abstract. How would one tame the subjective, bring order to chaos? There was too much I couldn't comprehend. But was it not aesthetics that led me to understand and codify the deep mysteries of cuteness? Yes. Perhaps there was something I could learn from a craft as humble as painting. And thus, with the future of alchemy on my dainty shoulders, I pushed open the door to the studio. we entered to find Shanae violently tossing in bed. Heimel rushed over, grabbing a phial of healing tincture from her bedside. Hand supporting her shaking head, he poured the concoction into her mouth. Immediately, her convulsions lessened, but her breathing was still labored. It became clear why he was so antsy back at Sierra's store. Toxic pigments could be dangerous in even the most steady of hands, and, well, I glanced down at Shanae's fingers trembling on her bedsheets. Pressing forward, I gave her a cursory examination. Normally, I don't afford peons the luxury of my intellectual evaluation, but I was feeling generous. These symptoms are grave.
Do you know what's the matter?
Lyria's voice quivered with worry. I do. I've seen this exact disease once upon a time. Heimel's eyes shot to me, propelled more by hope than surprise.
Truly? The local doctors have been useless. They just give her pain relievers and leave. Can you do something?
As much as I wanted to refuse, in that moment, Heimel's desperation reminded me too much of my own sister. I'm not a medical professional. Sure, I know a formula that might ease her symptoms, but it's not a permanent solution. Not to mention the biggest pain in the ass, tracking down all the components.
Please, you're all we've got.
Ugh, begging. Now, the deal was sealed. And it had nothing to do with Lyria, Vern, and Captain Goody Two-Shoes staring holes into the back of my head. Fine. The world's cutest genius alchemist Cagliostro is on the case. Consider yourself lucky. We left the studio and hurried back to the airship. In this skydome, I could think of only one environment that would produce the necessary reagents. Mount Nagelith. Perfect. The component should be somewhere around here.
We need reagents attuned to water. Let's sweep the area.
Roger that! My eyes are wide open!
I'm picking up what you are putting down.
You're a mean water spirit. Why don't you play nice?
Wind in the field.
All we have to do is collect this stuff, right?
Yep, but we'll need more than that.
This should do it! I'll follow you! Keep it up, guys! Let's go!
Understood.
An ambush!
This might hurt.
Convenient.
Are those spirits protecting it? Either way, looks like we'll have to go through them.
Seems our sweep wasn't thorough enough. We better check any spots we might have missed. This one's suspiciously large. Let's smash it and see what it's hiding. We have enough mineral components. Next up, we'll need crystallized Cygateers.
Zyga? Those flapping eyeball creatures? I think I saw some wiggle of the head. Get serious!
Follow me! I'll take it out! Big sister's here. We better stay focused.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm right behind you. Peekaboo!
Bingo! Pardon our intrusion.
Janae's counting on us. Let's do it!
Suck it up.
I needed that.
Or you. This should do the trick. What intriguing swordplay.
It is the dance of the butterfly.
Here goes!
No, sure.
Welcome! That was amazing!
No shit.
More eye monster!
Oh, yes! Bring your tears to us.
Ultimate team!
And yet there are still greater heights to climb.
Next time!
Adios.
Now or never!
I'm right behind
Leave it to me! Be very, very careful, okay?
Understood.
Right! I want to get left behind. Nice ball.
Let's roll.
Let's go!
This should do the trick. A genius in the making.
Do you want to see more of my magic? Oh! Looky here! A moving target! Keep this, sucker! Narmaya!
Need a hand? Butterfly. Moonlight.
Yep, I'm here! Captain! Yep, here goes! A 1, 2, the astrophism! How's that feel? Cagliostro wins again!
So, did we get the tears?
Of course we did. I even had time to distill them.
It's true! Cuter is better!
We'll repay you someday.
The moment the potion reached Shanae's stomach, wariness melted from her frame. That medicine will only temporarily stop your symptoms. They'll be back if you don't treat the root of the problem.
Still, peace is priceless, no matter how brief.
Shanae was not the only one feeling more relaxed. With tensions eased, I decided it was time to explain Shanae's condition, Lycerian fever syndrome. It was an autoimmune disorder of the nervous system, caused by irregularities in the body's ley line structure. Common side effects included reduced function of the lower extremities and unrelenting fevers. Development occurred in the embryonic stage, a defense against the mother's own ley line system, interpreting the fetus as a foreign object. Of course, the prescribed painkillers and fever reducers had not been effective. They could not treat what was essentially a natural function of Shanae's body.
But the formula you made for us, it suppressed her symptoms, didn't it?
Sure, but suppression isn't treatment. And besides, there will be unfortunate side effects if she uses it over a long period of time. I'm just sorry I couldn't make you a true cure.
Please don't apologize. I feel like I've reclaimed a part of my life thanks to you.
Brave little thing. She had done nothing to earn her lot in life, but suffering claimed her all the same. Though the world was built upon fundamental truths, at times, I felt as if I understood nothing about it.
Good day.
It was a bright day when Vern, Lyria, the captain, and I went back to the studio. Shanae was staring out the window with a dazed smile. So the formula was still working. Good.
Crazy how you invited yourself to the studio to see my sister's paintings. And now you're her personal pharmacist. Serendipity's funny like that.
If you feel like repaying me, how about you finally cough up some art and show me around?
That's a fair price. Everything in the studio was painted by Shanae. Feel free to get close. Admire the details.
Previously, I had managed only a distracted glance at the studio's walls. But this time, I saw visual creativity exploding off them. I wasn't an expert on art, but even I felt the vibrant energy bounding from her drawings. Powerful, powerful pieces swirled around me like a hurricane. And one painting in particular, it was resonant. Sketches were littered about the floor, too. And even they were filled with vitality. How could such a feeble body muster such vivid work?
Oh yeah, about that pigment I bought when we met. Want to see it in action?
Taking the vial from a shelf, Heimel poured the pigment into a dish and mixed it with oil. A few swirls later, and the color had transformed in a way that was more chemistry than alchemy. Intriguing. Takes a specialty product to make that hue. Heimel smiled and handed the freshly prepared paint to Shanae, who was already mid-painting. A bead of sweat trailed down her brow as she swabbed the tint across her canvas.
I believe in Shanae's talent. Look at her. She's amazing. I just have to get the world to recognize it.
It's nice having a supportive sibling. I meant it.
I never know how to read your tone. But, well, her condition made me realize how precious our time together is.
Heimel, who clearly had never known abundance, smiled like the richest of merchants. Though Shanae had been left with a raw deal, it was clear her life wasn't without meaning. If only I could go back and tell my own sister. You were my courage when I was weak. You were my light when I was in darkness. I have lived through eons, but you were my rock. I hoped these siblings, at least, would understand what they meant to one another. I even prayed a little. Which was dumb, considering this Skydom still thinks primal beasts are gods. Guess I'm getting sentimental in my old age.
Let's see. Please come again.
Excuse me?
Daddies ain't got nothing on you. Zathba told us we should get out of Zega Grande, but...
Roland made it abundantly clear that Angramanyu is more than Zega Grande's problem. That power can and will consume the skies.
Exactly. So what I wanted to say was... We got you, Lyria. Just take a look at my bud. Is that the face of somebody fixing to run away? Oh, no it isn't. Don't let this be your final battle, okay? Never hurts to have some backup, right?
Heard you've needed my blade! Guess I haven't had me a good roll for a while. Blade like a school like a... It's your wide open! Come at ya! Smell you later! Reel him in! It's curtain for ya! Smell you later, wide open! Bet you can't hit me! How's about we end it? Sky Center! It's curtain for ya! Run like a book! Reel him in! You're wide open! Smell you later! Blade like a... It's curtain for ya! Smell you later! You're wide open! What a gummy!
Stay safe out there, okay?
Work hard, play hard.
What should I do?
I smell a new mission.
Lucky me.
What now? Well, oh.
We've got lunch specials, good food, good prices. Window shoppers welcome. You'll love what you see.
Mission complete.
Hello.
What are you?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Eyes on my incredible merchandise.
Aw.
Sandwiches.
Yes, can I help you? Come again. I can make the arrangements at once. Good luck out there.
We've got
Now, to battle. All rivers lead to the
our defenses. This place has never been safer. Looks like we've got guests. Go give them a big welcome.
Life is
forward.
You are a steadfast ally. Wind in the field.
Let's slide the next one too.
Death breathes life. Float.
We just keep coming. We'll show them who's boss.
What intriguing swordplay.
It is the dance of the butterfly. Going on the sea, crescent moon. No mercy. Weakling. You aren't hurt, are you?
You're a millennium too early to be big sister and me.
Just keep coming. We'll show them who's boss.
Blood. Dissection time.
Come on.
Yes, ma'am.
It's over. One. This is not the end.
Nope. There's always bad guys to beat up.
Here we go. I'm ready.
Oh, thank you.
Understood.
Who do you think I am? Let's pin you up.
Rain on the hill.
Come on!
Like this?
Great! Let's keep it up!
Forward.
Fine.
How's this? Just keep coming. We'll show them who's boss.
Wind in the field. Look.
It was great! But now I never knew!
I'm right behind you.
You got some backbone after all.
Did you expect
We
any
were in
less?
harmony. Rain on the hill.
Doctor's in.
Soar. Small wings may beckon. Soar. Butterfly effect. Moonlight. Cagliostro!
I'll clean up here.
That was fun! Yeah! Oh, me! Yep, here goes! Come,
Weakling.
you have a 1, 2, time chaos!
Thank you for
Thank
keeping
you,
our
Mr.
spirits
Lizard!
full on the sea.
Come through!
Nightfall.
Time to shop! Leave it to distraction! Great job,
Dance
team!
of the pink feathers.
That was
Let's
nothing.
grab the next one, too! Together! Let's pin you up!
Rain on the... Let us take that call.
Sure.
This is not the end.
Just keep coming! We'll show them who's boss!
With thought, certain and depth. Look. You're so thoughtful, Captain. Come on. Strike now. Hero. The pond. Many things. Right here. Thank you, Captain. Wind in the field.
I fought rocks with more intelligence.
The final. Once more.
Not over yet!
Understood.
Climb through the flag! Yeah! We did it!
I am strong.
Right. All right. Hello there. Here it is. This one, yes? Please be careful.
We got rare spirit.
Enrage the tigress. Suffer her claws. Great support. Life is a rain on the death. Breathe life. Float. Splendid call. What did you expect? We'll claim any foe.
Look out, guys!
I'll analyze their attack pattern and come up with a sufficient strategy.
Foam on the sea. Right away. The final. Come, it's over. You are a steadfast ally. Wind in the field.
I'll do my best for you.
Is the air crackling? Foam on the sea.
Needed that.
Soar. War demands small wings may beckon. Soar. Butterfly effect.
Oh, that should be the last of them, which means quest complete.
Lovely. Wonderful. Farewell.
Hello there.
think?
This one, yes? Good luck out there.
How pleasant! Yes! Perfect! Oh my! Perfect! Nice! How pleasant! Move out.
Now we get the whole circus, huh? Keep on your toes. The ship's a sitting duck. Use one of the ether cannons on the deck to defend us. The next wave in no time. They just keep coming, or we'll show them who's boss. I'm not liking the look of this, but don't let it intimidate you. How many of them are there? Don't let them swarm you! And I think that's everything. You were awesome out there.
Like candlelight kissed by a breeze.
Hello there. Right. This one, yes? Good luck out there.
Enrage the tigress. Suffer her claws. Dance of the pink petals. Wind in the fields.
Let's go! Together!
Too late to run. They're furious! Let's do it!
Right away.
Ready for the next one?
Go on the Okay, I'll take the vanguard. Come, my friends.
It's over already? Boy, you're on a roll.
Lucky me. Wonderful. I am strong.
Come to view the requests? Have a nice day. Hello.
Hello.
Ready for some action? Daddies ain't got nothing on you. So...
Oh no!
Excuse me.
Let's kick some tail. Easier than eating apples. Let's kick some tail.
Let's talk. Want your weapons tempered? Let's kick it up a notch.
let's get to it. Come back sometime.
Yeah?
Welcome! One Skyfarer's trash is another merchant's treasure. We have a wide selection of sigils.